Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're tuning in live with us here at 7:25 a.m., good morning to you, and thank you for watching News in Motion. Today is Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. If you're catching the replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or near the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning in and supporting News in Motion. If this is your first time tuning in, News in Motion is a news media outlet with relevant commentary and call to actions. We also talk about voter registration and things going on in our communities. We can be found on LinkedIn, YouTube, or any audio or podcast platforms. Speaking of audio and podcasts, to our listeners, thank you for turning those dials to NIM today. If you are ready for our segment today, we have That's Happening Tuesday. That's Happening Tuesday. But before we get started, let's give a few shout outs. Shout out to Miss Deborah Johnson tuning in through YouTube. Good morning, Miss Adrian. Good morning to Miss Marion Jackson. Good morning to you, Miss Kim Emerson, and good morning, Miss Shardinia, who are all tuning in through YouTube. If you are ready for That's Happening Tuesday, be sure to grab a pen, grab a friend, and make sure that you are also liking and subscribing and staying tuned for all notifications of News in Motion. Without further delay, y'all know what we do over here. Let's get ready for some News in Motion.
News in Motion.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It is time for News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley. What's happening, everyone? And again, I'm going to just give the same shout outs. Deborah Johnson, I see you. What's happening to you? I'm sure you're on your big screen. Adrian, what's happening to you? Are you glad to have this break after your classes at The Ohio State University? Marion Jackson, how are you doing? We're still praying for you in the passing of your loved one. Kim Edmondson, what's up, girl? I see you. Shardinia, good morning. Kim Edmondson, Shirley Nicholson, I think y'all need to schedule y'all's 1 hour. So good morning to you, Shardinia. Good morning to you, Shirley Nicholson, as well. And Regina Shorts, what's happening? Y'all, it is Tuesday. I am your host, Gail Dudley. If you are new to this platform, first of all, thank you for hanging out with us. I'm sure you heard that we're off the chain and you wanted to come check it out. So I'm glad that you're here. And let me confirm, we are indeed off the chain. How we interact here, I really thrive off of the comments in the chat. So if you happen to be watching the live broadcast, the video broadcast, there's a chat feature in there. Make sure you're communicating with us. Let us know your thoughts, respond, ask questions, communicate with each other in the chat. We are just glad that you are here. And while I'm at it, go ahead and hit that alert button to subscribe and to make sure you get that bell every time we are going live on the air. With everything that's popping off lately, you never know when you may see me outside of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning at 7:25 a.m. Eastern. If you are on the podcast, if you are on the audio, I would assume that you are driving or you're at your office and you got your earbuds in and you really can't chat. I'm just glad that you're hanging out with us as well. I see you, Latrice Jones. Good morning to you. I just want to make sure, is everything still in place at your home, or have you just really torn it up since your son graduated? Dr. Antoinette, good morning to you. Davia, what's up? Good morning to you. And Kim Edmondson said, hit the like button too. Y'all, we got a lot of news. I was like, man, the news cycle is off the chain. First off, because we were still here in May before we took our weekend. So I just want to say hello, June. June has arrived and it's bringing all kinds of stuff with it. Here's our call to action. I want you to start thinking about what you can do. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. So we're just going to collaborate with When We All Vote. When We All Vote. We're going to collaborate with them, and how News in Motion is going to collaborate with them. They're doing this kickoff for voter registration Juneteenth week, and they're calling it Juneteenth Weekend of Action. That's the day, of course, that we celebrate freedom, culture, and progress. It's also called to action for people to come together to continue to support and vote Black lives, Black voices, and Black votes. Yes. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Juneteenth is a day that we're going to celebrate all these things. And so what they are doing with When We All Vote is hosting a Juneteenth weekend of action. From Wednesday, June the 19th until Sunday, June 23rd. And they're calling everyone. Like, again, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. They're calling all of us to come and join them in this. So what they're asking us to do is, if you're not a registered voter, to sign up to register to vote during that Juneteenth time. And in addition to that, find a location, a station place. And I don't know where that is, and I don't know how you have to do it in your community, like maybe outside a local Kroger store or a grocery store. Maybe it's at a barber shop or beauty shop. Maybe it's at a boutique. Maybe it's outside the movie theater. I don't know where you're going to go. Maybe it's at the picnics. Hello, somebody. Or cookouts, as we now call them. But register, have your iPad, your smart tablet, your phone, whatever, and ask people, how old are you? Are you registered to vote? And register them to vote during that time. We're going to put more information out as we're getting the directives from When We All Vote. We're going to put things out Friday. The Friday rundown will have some information. Hopefully we'll have all the kit and whatever you can download, so that we can get that to you. But that's what we're going to do. Latrice Jones said, I have held it together, but I make no promises for graduation Sunday at New Salem. You know what? You're going to make me come to church. Fred Jones says, good morning. Latrice has a whole backyard to run around and tear up, not inside. Well, there we go. Marianne says, remember to also share. Thank you, Marianne, for saying that. So yeah, and they're all laughing at Fred. Fred is like, don't mess up my house. My wife, don't mess up my house. So y'all, that's what we're doing with voting. And you'll see why in a moment. Also, y'all, prayer for Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson and their family in the passing of their mother, Marion Robinson, as we all effectively began to embrace her and love her, as she was like grandma at the White House, right? Taking care of her grandbabies during the time of the Obama administration. So we just want to lift them up, because you know that was a close-knit family. So we just want to pray for them. All right, y'all. I need all of y'all to participate in this. Go ahead and put it in the chat. If you're driving down the street, say it out loud while you're driving, whatever. And I know you've heard it over and over and over again. I was going to come in on Friday, and I decided why. It's not necessary. Everybody's talking about it. But I still want to talk about it just for 60 seconds if we can. So just type in the chat, shout out loud, whatever you want to do. 34, 34, 34, however you want to write it out. 34. 34. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Listen, 34. 34. I mean, really, I must tell y'all, I'm shocked. I was like, what? Say what? And I was actually driving to an event in my car, and I was like, okay, I know I'm on a 2-lane highway going down Sunbury Road, but I just want to go ahead and scream real quick and get it all out my system. There was just something about it. It's like, wow. Y'all came through. But on the flip side of that, within hours, y'all, the Trump administration, the Trump campaign raised $52.8 million immediately after the verdict. And $141 million throughout this entire weekend. So people are pouring into his campaign, and it's really baffling to me, but that's what's happening. Let me see y'all got it in there. Deborah says, Glenn kept waiting on your 34 special report on Friday. Deborah, tell Glenn I was close to doing it, but there was so much news out there around it. I said, it's not necessary. Like, what can I add to it? Because they were really going in on him. What's up, Dr. Bryce? She said 1, 2, 34. I got it. Y'all are in here on that one. Dr. Antoinette said, I got out of the car and gave a church shout. Listen, I was on a 2-lane road, so I couldn't do that. But 34, y'all, 34. And they kept saying, they were saying like the intel and everything was saying, everybody be safe, watch your surroundings, be aware. I was getting all those alerts, but nothing ever happened. So I don't know if it's going to come later or what's happening, but it never happened. Fred Jones says, I can't get 40 on a GoFundMe. Listen, we cannot get, when we put out a GoFundMe, it goes flat. But here's, let's see. He says he is a wealthy man, but they're pouring in 141 million, y'all, over just the weekend. 141 million. All right, y'all. But in addition to that, and I love where some grassroots organizations are making the shift. There are now, y'all, grassroots movements to remove felony off of job applications, mortgage loans, regular loans, credit card companies, student applications, etc. I want to hear from you. What say you? I see you, Judy Neal. Good morning to you. What say you to that? Because I've been listening to Pastor Jamal Bryant talk about it. And y'all know we've had him on the show, so I actually have a email out to them to see if I can get him back because he's working on something. And I want to hear more about it. And I said, y'all don't even know what y'all just did. because at this moment, people are saying, no. If the person who was fired from a job, and there's some memes out there with all this. I was like, man, we grab stuff immediately. There's some memes out there talking about, okay, come on. You were fired from a job by half of America, more than half of America. You were fired from a job. You didn't get a popular vote until last week with all 12 jurors. Popular vote. You got 100% popular vote that you're convicted. You stole documents. You're still not turning in things. You were even taking other loot out of the White House, but you can go back in. Seriously? And not only that, you also a jury also found you with E. Jean Carroll with sexual assault. That you're liable for sexual assault, and you can go back there. So they're like, no, we're going to fix this. So felonies off a job application, mortgage loans, student applications, and so much more. Kim Edmondson says you're a criminal. There's that. So I want to hear what you have to say. Now, y'all, from that, here's what's happening. You're not hearing a lot about this, but this is what's happening. Axios is reporting that a poll, 49% of independents think Trump should drop out of the post-guilty verdict. Now, that was before, after. And then 49% and 15% of Republicans are now saying that he should drop out of the campaign. Well, we have that going on, but you don't hear a lot of people talking about that poll, right? And then people are wondering, well, can he vote? Well, technically, if he's not in prison or not in jail, he can vote. Okay, because this happened in New York, not in Florida. So he can vote in New York if he still has his residence there in New York. I'm going to put the link in there that explains all of that in the Friday rundown so you can get a clear picture with that as well. But let's talk about voting because Colorado, ABC News is reporting that Colorado's done a switcheroo. So Colorado will offer what they call a first of its kind in-person voting behind bars in November. Hold on. We understand that felons get their rights taken away from them. So just let me finish. Colorado governor signed a bill into law mandating that election officials bring voting services to county detention centers and jails for statewide general elections. Yep, the implementation is a measure that will lead around 61 jails and detention centers across Colorado, offering in-person voting for the November election. You're probably saying, how do they get the vote? Well, these are people who they're incarcerated awaiting trial, so they have not been convicted yet. And I thought, well, isn't that a great idea? So they haven't been convicted yet, but they're in jail. They're behind bars because they couldn't meet bail or whatever. So they're being able to vote. that's what's happening, y'all. That's what's happening. I thought, this is interesting. And then on top of all of this, so we can be really done with Trump for today, y'all, he jumped on TikTok yesterday. I'm like, what? Hold up, wait a minute, what? So he's on TikTok. The very thing that he tried to ban in 2020. Yeah, y'all remember that August 6th, and then it's in September. On September 20th, the judge was like, "No, we can't do this." So 4 years after attempting to ban the app during his presidency, Donald J. Trump is officially on TikTok. He announced his social media debut yesterday. This is just crazy. They said, but he had floated it out there also on Saturday. So there you have it. He's on TikTok, just blocking. That's all you have to do, just blocking. So I just want to know, with everything's going on, where do you stand? Because I'm seeing a lot of things out here where people are like kind of like backing him, saying, yes, we want him in office for president. Like, do we live in the same America? Like, what is really going on? What's really happening right now? And why are people supporting this? I mean, come on. If we would just back up and say, okay, let me look, if you're a felon or you've been convicted, okay, let me look at what I've lost. And why is this man gaining all of this momentum and everything that's going on? And why are people pouring millions of dollars into his campaign? Why? Why is this happening? What's wrong with our Constitution? What's wrong with legislation? Why can't we fix some of these things? But I love the movement that's happening right now. Good morning, Pastor Alex Williams. Good morning. Adrian says, just another string to grift from. Y'all, this is happening. This is happening. All right, y'all, I want to turn the tables just a little bit, but I still want to talk about what we're talking about here. Everything is surrounding voting, because I think this is so important. Y'all know where I'm at right now. Y'all know where I stand. This is what we do. Marion says, I don't want the former guy back in office. He needs to be in prison. And we will all know. The judge, I think it's July the 11th, we will all know. Pastor Williams said, cults don't think reasonably. Listen, I'm just sitting back like, what's really going on? So y'all, this happened. And we should be paying attention to this as well, okay? Y'all, a grant program for Black women business owners is discriminatory. This is what the appeals court has ruled. Yeah, a U.S. federal court of appeals panel suspended a venture capital firm's grant program for Black women business owners, ruling that a conservative group is likely to prevail in lawsuit claiming that the program is discriminatory. The ruling against the Atlanta-based Fearless Fund is another victory for conservative groups waging a sprawling legal battle. This is coming directly from AP News. Against corporate diversity programs that have targeted dozens of companies and government institutions. So this is a ruling. They can no longer loan any funds at the time. They can't appeal, to my understanding, the ruling. But y'all, this is a problem, okay? Because we're not getting money anywhere else. Okay, we're not getting the opportunity, because I'm gonna talk for myself. I have personal experience. I have applied for so many things, and it's rejection after rejection after rejection. Because, like, for example, Pastor Carl Wright and I, y'all know he's the graphic artist for us. Pastor Carl Wright and I, we were talking, and he says, we really need another voter resource guide. He said, can you update the one you have? So I've been in conversation with Amber Mabry, who has helped us with Ready publication for, 7 years. And we were talking about, and I said, there's no way we can do this right now. We looked at the cost factor, and even to do the designing, even to do the initial gathering of research numbers and all those things, y'all, that right there is about 10 grand. No joke. People don't realize the price that comes along with doing what we need to do. And so then to make copies, however we're going to distribute it, to whatever platform we're going to put it up on, that also costs money. So when we looked at the entire budget just to get it out there, and in the time frame we have to get it out there, we're pushing about $25,000. And so we're like, okay, let's try to hit up some grants. So the Women's Fund, this fund, that fund, Columbus Foundation, whatever. No. And I'm like, we don't have it. There's no way we can do this. I would love to get it out there. And Carl was like, and he's, Carl's a praying man. So Carl, I am too, I'm a praying woman. So Carl is out there praying about what avenues can we take so that we can get it out there, because he said, and I was like, really, Carl? He said, you have no idea how many people was using the voter registration guide in 2022. And that was not the general election. Y'all know that came out 2 years ago. That was not the general election. And he was telling me why that resource made a difference to people. He said, and Gail, is nonpartisan. And I said, well, yeah, that's the whole point, to do it out there, to get you to think, whatever. So y'all even updating that. So I know from experience, they're not giving money to us. Okay, they're not doing it. They're like, oh, sounds like a great idea, but no, we're just going to have to pass on this. Okay, fine, you can do that. And it's just, so where do we go? So when I read this, I said, so we can't even give money to our own. They're doing whatever they can to shut us down. Dr. Antoinette said, instead of burning down our businesses, deny the loan and close the opportunity for funding. There's that. So these things are happening, one after another. And when I read this, I said, yeah, we gotta find a way to begin working together. It is crucial that we do that at this time, which leads me to my next story. And if y'all haven't watched it, I'm gonna tell you, I know the demographics for News in Motion. Listen, all of you better just take a breather before you watch this documentary. Watch the documentary Movie Pass, Movie Crash, and it's on HBO Max. All right, so I want to turn our focus to this latest documentary. I had no idea, none. I was like, wait, hold up, what? 2 black men started Movie Pass and they got displaced by 2 white men who pretty much stole the company, took all their money and left them with nothing. And y'all, even today in 2024, those 2 white men are awaiting trial in 2024 from the SEC. I was like, say, what? What is happening right now? Y'all, what happened? And these 2 brothers, brilliant. They call him the Dean of Geek, and this is Stacy Spikes. They call him the Dean of Geek, and then Hamet Watt. And they were business partners, brilliant black men. They were building a reputable company. Y'all, I now have questions about AMC. AMC, they went to AMC before the 2 white men came in. They went to AMC to back. So they put it out there. It's a subscription-based company. It's back. Hold on. They put it out there, and AMC then did a cease and desist because some people didn't like the fact when they found out who was running the company. So then they had to bring in these white men, and these white men got it going because they're white men, right? And so they started putting it out there, and they started like getting all these subscriptions. They hit 500,000, then 1 million, then up to 5 million. Then they got rid of the 2 brothers. They removed him. They fired him from his office. They removed him. They told him they could still be stockholders, but they could not use their stock. They could not sell it. They could not cash it out for 12 months. And within a few months, the white men destroyed all the money, destroyed the company. Yeah, y'all, this is happening. Y'all gotta watch Movie Pass, Movie Crash. The dude, I can't think of his name, on Shark Tank, the black dude, Fubu, he was talking. He said, yeah, it happened to us. He goes, it's happening to black businesses that are doing well. And he said, it's because it's us. And then he said, remember the Tulsa, remember all of these things, y'all, this hasn't gone away. And I love something that several of these brothers said on here. And that was this, even some of the employees, even white employees who backed the black dudes, okay? They were saying, we won't invest in each other. And they were like, what is this mindset? Kim Edmondson, are you listening? Heather, if you're on here, you listen. Hester, what is the mindset of our people that we refuse to support one another? We won't even share stuff at all. I'm going to tell y'all something that happened. And I was trying to debate if I was doing this or not, but since I'm here, I'm going to go there. I follow all kinds of people because I love what they're doing. I support them, I comment, I engage, all those kind of things. Well, I was going through a particular post, I won't tell y'all where. I was going through a particular post on Instagram and came across what somebody was telling this other podcast company to do. Three amazing, brilliant Black people who had been in some of the national news media for years, working, doing great things. They're doing amazing things. Now I actually follow their podcast because I think it's brilliant. Okay. So this person is telling them what they should do. And the more I kept reading it, and I looked at the name, and I said, they watch News in Motion. So I'm reading this entire thing, and basically they were taking everything that I've been sharing here on News in Motion to give to these three people. And in that, they said, in that message, they said, she doesn't have a lot of followers. And since y'all are nationally recognized, y'all should just take her concept because her concept is really good. Okay, wait a minute. You didn't share News in Motion with other people to say, hey, come check her out. And you didn't mention my name, but you said everything to let me know you were talking about News in Motion. For real. And I just had to sit back and laugh. Davey, if you're still on here, I thought about that post with that young lady a few weeks ago. I thought, wow, this is what we're doing. But we rather compete against each other instead of lifting each other up. Yeah, true. On our viewership, live, we have very few people. On our audio podcast, we're in the thousands every day live. The replays, we hit more than 1,000 every day with replays because of where people are positioned. But regardless of all of that, why can't we find a way? Just like I said, y'all, hey, we're not going to reinvent the wheel when we all vote. Let's just partner with them. Hey, we're not going to reinvent the wheel with this company. Let's just partner with them. Y'all, partnership and collaboration is key, but we have to support one another. Y'all, believe it or not, all of this has to do with voting. All of it. I'm glad that two white men are being held accountable. Y'all, the FBI came to the original owner, and the original owner had to go be interviewed, and they realized who wasn't involved and who was involved. Y'all, the bottom line, when y'all watch this documentary, at the end, you're going to be like, say what? It was all about selling a stock, not the company. It was crazy how the money is commingled and how it's filtering here, there, and everywhere. And y'all, we're turning a blind eye to it. This comes right back to the voting booths, people. Right back to the voting booths. Yeah, Kim Edmondson, that's what happened. Yeah, Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, we can all win. Yes, Davia, we can. And for that particular person, I was just laughing. I said, this is like really on here. They gave everything. And they said, and that's why I knew, because at first I was like, okay, am I really tripping? Am I thinking this about me? But it's not. They said, yeah, check her out. She comes on live. I'll inbox you her information at 7:25 a.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if y'all happen to tune in and you're listening, we can collaborate, but really you can take the idea. I don't care, because my bottom line is I want people to register to vote. I want people to understand voting, and I want people to understand how to connect the dots. And with your level of influence, you can really make a difference. So have at it, seriously, but at least give credit where credit is due. Okay? All right, y'all. So that's what's happening with Movie Pass and that. All right, y'all. We talked about him. Everybody was talking about Homeboy, who was on Zoom, talking to the judge, talking about, I'm pulling in now. He has a suspended license. Now, y'all, he came back. He came all the way back. Dr. Antoinette House not going to YouTube jail. Listen, it's crazy, Dr. Antoinette. All right, listen, y'all. Seriously, he came back. He came back. Now, I still think he's wrong for driving at the time when his license were thought to have been suspended. Wait a minute. Latrice Jones says you can pay her for her intellectual property. Well, there's that, Latrice Jones. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for having my back. I'm sorry, I'm not done with that yet. I'll get to Homeboy and the drive in a moment. If we would just come together and support each other, like, for example, I really admire Oprah Winfrey. I do. But have y'all seen Davia's podcast? Listen, and I'm not saying she can be the next Oprah. I'm just saying she's Davia Williams Stevenson. And she needs to get the respect because her podcast is off the chain. Why aren't we recognizing people like this? Seriously. There's someone, I won't name them on here because I don't know if their job people are watching. I don't want to get her in trouble with her job. There's somebody on here that I sent them a position about an Autism Speaks job in Washington, D.C. I was like, you empty nester now, girl, you can relocate. Because I've seen that job about 3 times and I keep seeing the same face. I keep seeing the same person. I really want to send them a letter and say, hey, I need you to check out this person. Here's her email. Here's her phone number. Call her up because she can really do this job. Because they're looking for a specific person and this person can do the job. Why can't we support people and highlight people like this? Seriously. I'm looking at Kenny Stanley lately, y'all. Yeah, we kind of, we all start off like in the closet or in the backyard or in the garage. Amazon started in the garage. Jeff Bezos, you see what happened there. And we laugh at people. Y'all, Kenny Stanley is brilliant with sports. So now it's like, let's work on the delivery. Let's work on the setup. Let's work on what he's doing. And he's doing all of that. And he's making changes coming into the fall 2024. Y'all, Kenny Stanley could be in the seat of a Steven. Seriously, we're talking about building confidence. We're talking about helping this person, y'all. But as a community, as a village, we should be not criticizing people, but helping them out and building them up. Y'all, that's what we should do. Deborah Johnson, y'all. Deborah Johnson has a love for writing and writing movement. If we would just get behind the movement and not be trying to figure out, well, how can I start that movement? That's not your assignment, y'all. That's not your assignment. Allow Deborah Johnson to do what Deborah Johnson does. Latrice Jones says, Gail may not care, but she has a team. Listen. I hear you. Marian says, absolutely, Latrice, pay Gail for her intellectual property. I love y'all. Deborah says, I love how you support art. Listen, I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to have y'all's back. Davia says she's an amazing support. Listen, y'all, that's just my makeup. That is just my makeup. That's just who I am. And by now, y'all should know we're going on 4 years together. It's genuine. It's complete. And I don't have to prove that to y'all. It's completely there. And I just sit back and I'm thinking, why can't we connect these dots here and figure this out? To me, this is a simple formula. If we would just, and everybody would win. Everybody would win because everybody's not all out front people. Everybody's not all behind the scenes people. Everybody's not a digital marketer. Everybody's not a graphic artist. We all have our different visions and moves in the way we do it. If we would stop hating on each other, y'all, we got to get out of the field and house slave mentality. We have to break that at some point. And maybe let me just pause here and say, in the name of Jesus, I pray that's broken. It's time for us to break that mentality and get out of that slave mentality, that poverty mentality, and actually take hold of who we are and what we really have and how we can progress forward. We have to do this. So homeboy who was in the car with the judge is like, wait a minute, hold up. He's like, I'm pulling in now. I'm getting ready to park. Y'all, it was a clerical error. Actually, his license were lifted in 2022. So he gets the last laugh. Seriously. Now, he's probably still should not have been driving on the day he was driving, talking to the judge, because at that point, his license were still suspended. So he probably should not have been driving, but it was a clerical error. And the reason he lost his license was not because of a driving infraction. The reason he lost his license was because he had not paid child support. So that's a law in Michigan. So he paid, he got caught up. He was supposed to have his license back in 2022. And as of that video, he had not. So he was still probably wrong right there. But at the same time, y'all, it's like he gets to laugh last. He came back and did his thing. All right, y'all, if you are not hot yet, hold on, because you're about to get real hot. Esther says, generational curse breakers. Listen, yeah, Kim Edmondson, stop hating on each other. Y'all, it's not necessary. Do you know how much energy it takes to hate on people? That's a lot of energy. I don't have it. I ain't here for it. I don't care anymore. It's like we don't have time for that. We're in a place in America where we have somebody about to enter back into the Oval Office, and it is very possible that that's what's going to happen. And we arguing over some dumb stuff. Like, seriously, get a grip today. All right, y'all. Average cost of keeping a home in the U.S. cool. And this is all over NBC, AP, NPR, Axios, the Weather Channel, all of them. Y'all, this could cost U.S. $719 a month. Like I was like, I'm gotta pay what? Like get the old timey fans back out. We gonna put them in the windows. Y'all know how crazy that used to be. We used to put the y'all. Come on, I'm not dating myself. I'll be 59 in next month. But y'all remember we had to put the fans in the windows, and actually what was doing was circulating the heat from the outside in. Now that I'm like, why did we do that? That wasn't even scientific. Arian says that's a law in Ohio to take driver's license for non-payment of child support. Okay, so Ohio too. So see you told me something, Marion, I didn't even know. But yeah. So listen, the average cost of keeping your home cool from June to September is set to be about $719, nearly 8% higher than last year. About 573. So like as the temperature is changing and going down, it'll decrease. Now, organizations distributing federal financial support expect they'll be able to help roughly 1 million fewer families. A million. They believe they will. I'm gonna change the language here. They believe they will not be able to help about 1 million families. Okay, 1 million less than what they had last year to help them pay their energy bills. So we need to figure out how we're going to help these people. Okay. So organizations distributing federal financial support expect that they'll be able to help roughly 1 million fewer families. That's partly because government funding for the low-income home energy assistance program fell from $6.1 billion last fiscal year to $4.1 billion for assistance this year. Can I just stop here and say something? See, President Biden, all due respect, your Secretary of Climate, Energy, whatever, with all due respect, this ain't the time not to be helping people out when you're trying to get back in office. Because we're adding up the billions you sent to Ukraine and helping in other wars. And we think that's great. Seriously, we do. But you can't forget your own people. So you may want to rethink this and figure out how you're going to take that 4.1 billion and go ahead and add probably about 3 more billion to it to make sure the people are cool. Now, if you need some assistance, I'm available to come and consult with you and your team to let you know what everyday Americans are thinking. I know y'all can get into y'all's private planes and y'all have y'all's $1 million homes and you have your drivers and your cooks and all those, the nannies and all those things. I understand that's how you roll. You got Secret Service, you got dogs, you got dog walkers, you have all those things. But let me just help you out just a little bit right here. We really need you to go ahead and make sure our elderly have the air conditioning they need. We need the fans, although they really don't work. We need some new electrical stuff, and we can really start that now because it's going to get hot real fast. We experienced this last year. Did you really think it was going to change this year? So if we could just get you to do what you should do, I think we would be much better off. And I won't have time to go to this today with these viewers, but we're going to talk about it tomorrow. I just read your climate business piece, and you talking about expanded grants and loans and tax incentives. Well, now you talking some billions of dollars here. Can we borrow about $4 billion out of this billions over here? Let me see how much y'all putting in here. Oh, here it is. You got 1.3 billion, then you got 16.5 million, and you got 27 billion in the greenhouse gas reduction fund. How much did you give Elon Musk for the EVs? And he acting a complete fool over here. Can you get them billions back from him and take care of your people? Because word on the street, he's supporting Trump. So now I know you've already given him the money and everything, but we got to fix this right here because this ain't going to work. We hot. Your people who voted for you, some people who didn't vote for you would love your help and maybe you might get their vote. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know who your team is at the White House, but I'm logically helping you right now. Okay. So this is free intellectual property that I'm sharing with you, but, something Something, you even got the Clean Community Investment Accelerator, $7 billion. You got the National Clean Investment Fund, $6 billion. You got the Solar for All programs, $9 billion. That's a whole lot of billions. We just looking for about $4 billion to help with these people who need some air. That's all. That's all. Y'all, this is why we vote. This is why we do what we do. Let me see what y'all saying in here. Mary says, I remember the fans and the windows. Yeah, listen. Deborah Johnson said, Mr. President, Gail Dudley needs to be on your advisory staff. Something. Like this, just to me, this is common sense. And I really believe that people behind those walls and those offices, they're not thinking like we think, because they're there. I'm like, dude, I see this every day. I go to my parents' house. Like, even now, I gotta go there later on in the day. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. Hopefully they have the doors open, like something, the windows, because they're now older, and they just like, they don't want their doors open. They don't know who's gonna come to the door, so they just be sweating it out. And I'm like, can y'all please open the door? I'm here. I'll hurt anybody who try to come in y'all's home. Seriously, I will, because I'm about to hurt you all, because I'm burning up. I'm sweating. I gotta go in there like, wear shorts, wear a t-shirt. Just wear some flip-flops, because it's going to be hot up in your parents' home. Seriously. So we got to do this. Dr. Antoinette said, I get too hot for a box fan. Listen, and even the fans in church don't work. We just circulate the same hot air over and over and over again. All right, y'all, let me get to the inspirational message, and we're getting out of here, because I know Isaiah's probably saying, my auntie is gone off today. Listen, inspirational message. Everything I'm looking at when it comes to the news reminds me that we need to know who we are, and we need to access the power that is within us. Time out for being wimpy and whiny. We don't have time for wimpiness or to be whiny. We don't have time. We don't have time for you pointing fingers or being mean girls or mean boys. We don't have time. We don't have time for your shenanigans. Time out for all of that, because it's about to get hot outside. And we're not taking it. We're not taking it. We're not doing this anymore. So listen, access the power, access the truth. Access who you are and get a clear understanding. Stop trying to take from somebody else. It's too much energy, and we don't have time for it. We don't. So use that same energy, that same power that you want to rob from somebody else, and figure out how you're going to make a difference on your street. If you don't have the capacity to help out the entire community, help out one neighbor on your street. Have a conversation with them, find a way to find unity there, and then go to the next neighbor. Y'all, time out. We're going to have to access the power that is within us. And believe me, we all have the power. We just been told that we don't. So somebody else has stripped you of your power because you really believed in them. You thought the world of them. But what they were doing, they were robbing you. They were stealing you from your joy. So your joy has been temporarily stolen. But the good news is everything that has been stolen from you can be restored. All you got to do is access it. You know, we need to have this mindset. Now, y'all don't laugh at me, but I'm being honest. I'm being honest here. And I actually do this. We have to have the mindset of, oh, really? I can't do that? Well, I bet you I can. I use that to give me the strength and the power to go. When somebody tell me I can't do something, I literally laugh at them now. I'm like, really? Let me show you. And then I just do what I need to do to make it happen. Some people may join us, some people may not, but it's okay. It is okay. Y'all, I'm a part of this group that I don't know if I'm staying with it. And y'all know, y'all should know, I don't like groups. Those of you who know me know, I don't even like exercise groups. I'm not a group person. I used to be a cheerleader, but So I'm a part of this group. I was invited into this group on Facebook, and they're all women. And there's about 200,000 of us. I'm like, what is this about? It's drama every day. I'm like, I'm going to exit my way on up out of here because I don't have time for this. It is draining. I'm like, I'm not doing this. There's no way. And people were like, oh, you know, they're trying to encourage other people not to leave because a lot of cattiness is going on there. They're like, oh, don't leave, just ignore it. No, I'm going to protect my peace and get up out of here because I don't need this. And that's the mindset we need to have, protecting our peace. How do I protect my peace? When Homeboy was doing, he's not even a homeboy. When Buttercup was doing interviews, I'm like, I'm not about to watch this interview. I'm going to protect my peace because he's not doing anything but spewing stuff that's causing division. I'm not about to be a part of this. Talking about I'll go to jail or I'll be on house arrest. Dude, sit down. Sit down. Shut up and sit down. If your family really loved you, they would tell you, Dad, husband, we done. We done. Let's just enjoy the rest of our lives. Seriously. But no, they don't love you because they leaving you out there. They leaving, you don't have no friends. They don't love you. You have some supporters who don't even know you. But your real people, they don't like you. They don't like you at all. Seriously, dude. And I want you to hear it from me. They don't like you. They don't. So y'all, let's access our power. If y'all knew the movement we can make, both financially, even with $1, and the wisdom we have and the education we have, we can make a major difference. Call me crazy, but I see it. But we all have to make the decision that we don't have to be in charge. None of us have to be in charge. Just what do you need me to do? Where are my gifts? And how can I best utilize my gifts in this season? All right, y'all, that's all I got for today. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Until tomorrow, this has been News in Motion. Hopefully you gained something from today. Kim Edmondson, Shirley Nicholson, Donita, I need y'all to schedule y'all's one-on-one. Lori and I had a great one last week, but y'all, I'm out of here until tomorrow. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
News in motion.